All right, guys. So, Piers Morgan did another video with Nerdrotic and the Critical Drinker. These are always fun to watch. So, let's get into it. It's called Performative Bullshit. Panel tears apart. Snow White remake. Ugh. All right. I feel like, if I remember correctly, I feel like the guy on the right is gonna be like on his own because I feel like these three are all like they're gonna be like anti woke, and I think they have this guy as the one as the one woke defender. We'll see how it plays out though.
I like to call them adult pretenders.
President who did the most selfless thing that anybody's done since George Washington.
And I agree with Quentin Tarantino. George Clooney is not a movie star.
We're here to discuss Snow White, so what do you
Ooh, bro! Oh my god, it's so stupid. Why are we like sitting here pretending like Rachel Zegler isn't like beautiful? I don't. It's such a weird line of attack. It's such a weird line of attack. Like, what are you talking about? It's like in the original Snow White movie, like the Queen was a baddie. Like I feel like in the original Snow White movie, the Queen was always hotter than Snow White. So I feel like, because I did watch it recently, and I feel like a good interpretation of what they were going for in that movie was that Snow White was like fairer, not just because of her beauty, but because she's not a bitch as well, right? I don't know.
Has always been gay. I don't know why you can't see it. They obviously recruited for the next film. I am available. Well, when Disney executives signed off a big budget remake of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, they probably thought it was a very safe bet for a company in dire need of a hit. A time-honored fairy tale beloved by millions, which spans generations, borders, and creeds. What could possibly go wrong? Well, it turned out just about everything. Rachel Zegler, who stars as Snow White, condemned Prince Charming as weird and a stalker, adding that she hates the
True. Listen, okay, here's the other thing. Like, if you're making a remake of Snow White,
original. I start.
there are things that you can update to make it less weird. Like, in the original Disney Snow White movie, the prince like sneaks up on her, does his best like harassment. She like runs away from him. She's like, the strange man, and then she like runs into her castle, and then instead of like taking the L, he just starts like singing at her against her will. It's like that's what happens. And then they have no interactions. They literally don't interact at all for the rest of the movie. And then at the end of the movie, he just like shows up and he kisses her corpse. It's very weird. It's like, I'm not saying that like, oh, we need to cancel Snow White, or oh, you need to take Snow White, or you can't show your kids Snow White because it's problematic. Blah, pfft. I don't care about any of that. Like, and by the way, Disney doesn't either. Because you want to know where I watched it? I watched it on Disney Plus. They're not trying to cancel their own movie, even. But like, if you're making a remake, even if you want to set aside the fact that it's like kind of weird, just to make a more compelling story, like, yeah, you probably want to actually have Snow White and the prince have a relationship where they speak, and they, yeah, or and they just have like communication ever with one another. Is, I don't know. Should Rachel Zegler have ever criticized the original Snow White movie or said that there were parts about it that were outdated? Probably not. Just for the simple fact that a lot of the people on the internet are retarded. So I mean, they're just going to take it the wrong way, whether maliciously or not maliciously. And B, it's like, yeah, like if you're making a remake of Snow White, literally and you're trying to get Snow White fans to watch your movie, literally like the only thing you should be doing is like sucking off Snow White, like the OG, be like, oh my god, yes, that's the most amazing movie ever. We're trying to respect the legacy or whatever. Like that's the kind of thing. Those are the only things you should be saying, just from a business perspective. But like if we're actually being real, like Rachel's. Like I think most of what Rachel Zegler said was like probably fine. I don't even think it was that egregious. I think the main thing that she said that was probably not that you could take the most issue with is maybe when she kind of alluded to the fact that that one of the reasons why the original movie was outdated was because because Snow White only cares about like true love or whatever, and it's probably fine if you want to have a character that only really cares about finding true love. I think that's fine. Like I don't think that every woman has to be like a boss queen leader. Yes, queen. Yes, I'm a leader. Yes. Like I don't think every princess or female Disney character has to be like that. It's fine if they just want true love. But one thing that I will say is that it is probably fair to say that like in the original Snow White movie, Snow White does kind of feel like a retarded child for for most of the runtime, where it's like things are just kind of happening at her and she's just like, and it just doesn't feel like she has much agency throughout the movie. So it's just like if we're actually having like an honest conversation, there are things that you can improve upon the original Snow White movie, and there are things that you can reasonably go like, we could probably do that in a more like, socially politically correct manner, but still get like the essence of the story. Like you absolutely can, like it's absolutely reasonable to do those things. Of course, we have to wait and see how it actually plays out in the movie, because maybe they'll go way too overboard or something. But yeah, we'll see.
Leaked photos from the set revealed that 7 dwarves had been sensationally axed, replaced by multiracial, gender non-specific magical humans.
Like that's the thing here, and this is they kind of like give away the game where it's like, is it stupid to not do dwarves? Yes. But like what? But like when you look at that set photo, like what is them not being, what does them being multiracial have to do with anything? How do you know if any of them are gender non-specific? Like what does this even mean here? Like what are you talking about?
After Peter Dinklage said it was backwards to cast real dwarves as dwarves, even though he's made up.
And everybody's like acting like, everybody's just like assuming that it's like Peter Dinklage's fault. But like, do we even know that? I don't think he or Disney have ever said that. But everybody's just assuming that Peter Dinklage made them not have dwarves in the movie because he made some like silly comment or something.
In a whole career, out of being a real dwarf who's played dwarves in movies and made millions doing it. The usual suspects race.
Oh wow, look at him. He got Peter Dinklage. Oh my gosh, wow. Even though like we don't know if Peter Dinklage actually had anything to do with this decision.
Defend this bold and progressive gesture, but that particular tale ended with a shock twist.
I think you should live in the 1930s, actually, Piers, because that's where you belong, really, listening to what you were just saying then. Also, I'm going to quote Warwick Davis, because he said he finds it patronising when people are offended on his behalf, and you've just spent a 5-minute monologue being offended on his behalf, and I think that's ridiculous.
Well, let me bring in Dylan, who's also offended. He happens to be he was offended on his own behalf, so it turned out I was right. Disney responded to the growing controversy by delaying the movie a year, and replacing the magical humans with what looked like CGI garden gnomes. They featured prominently in the first trailer, which dropped over the summer.
I mean, I don't like the CGI gnomes, particularly because they just look horrifying. Like, hold on, they'll show them. Like, look at these Polar Express looking mother effers. Like, they just look weird. And also, like, I mean, if you really care about that, like, yeah, they probably should have also given like some dwarves some work. Like, this could have been a neat role for like people with dwarfism. So all in all, I mean, yeah, this was definitely the wrong decision. And, if it was like, if they decided to go the CGI route explicitly because they think for some reason it would be offensive to tokenize dwarves or so, like, I don't know if that's the reason why they went the CGI route, but if that is the reason, then that's stupid. But like the other thing is that, like, I don't know, I just feel like nobody cares anymore about being like intellectually honest, because it's just like I don't know if that's the reason why they made this decision. I have no idea. But I assume that the panel is just going to assume that that's the reason and not provide any evidence. Like, maybe when the magic mirror says that she's not the fairest of them all, maybe it's literally just because of her drip. Because, like, what is this condom suit? Fucking Cyclops from the season finale of X-Men 97 looking at. You know what I mean?
Fairest one of all.
Although, I will say,
Mirror on the wall.
it just to be fair, she isn't. To be fair, she is not beating the Lord Farquaad allegations. I mean, if we're being real.
What audiences have responded in their droves. In fact, the trailer has broken records. More than 1 million people have disliked it on YouTube, making it one of the most
So the weird thing about this is that people have to use like third party like Chrome extensions in order to see YouTube dislikes now, because YouTube like canceled their dislike system or something, or I think creators can see it, but you can't just like watch a video and see what the amount, how many dislikes it has. And I don't actually know, but like I've heard people say that those third party like applications don't actually work that well. I remember specifically people were using them to look at Mr. Beast's dislikes, you know, when, I mean, he's still going through his whole controversy, but people were trying to look at Mr. Beast's dislikes. And then I think that Mr. Beast actually sent his data to Keemstar from Drama Alert, and Keemstar was basically like, yeah, those like third-party applications, like they're just not indicative of what the actual dislikes are, because when you looked at Mr. Beast's data, the video wasn't getting nearly as many dislikes as was alluded to in if you just download some random third-party thing that shows you the dislikes. So it's one of those things where it's like, I'm not saying that people aren't disliking the Snow White trailer en masse, but I don't necessarily know if it's as extreme as this.
hate previews in cinematic history. The cherished fairy tale has become a grim morality tale of meddling Hollywood hacks. Audiences watch movies to escape this kind of hectoring, virtue signaling, insanity of the modern world.
What is he talking about? That's a weird thing, is that if you just look at the dwarves or whatever, aren't they like giving you what you want, where they're not doing that? Like, obviously they're doing it in a weird way because it's like CGI dwarves and not just actual dwarves, but like, is there even any like virtue signaling or whatever in the trailer? I don't even know what he's referring to here, if we're just talking about the trailer.
Well, not have it thrown in ladles down their throats. We're here to debate all this and lots more to YouTube's most outspoken and popular commentators, Gary Beekler, who's aka Nerdrotic, and Will Jordan, aka the Critical Drinker, and here in the studio, our sensitive contributor Esther Krakow, and the occasional comedian James Barr, fresh from what he tells me was a very successful trip to the Edinburgh Festival. I'll see if there's any evidence of that later. But welcome to you all. How are you, James? You missed me?
Hello.
Do I miss you, Piers? Not really. And this whole Snow White thing is just performative outrage. It is.
Actually, you're right. You know what? We're going to start the
Ooh.
new autumn season, if you like, of this, or the fall if you're watching in America, with a point of immediate agreement between me and James Barr.
Right.
That's exactly what this is. It is performative bullshit.
No, it's performative outrage.
But it's by Disney and by Hollywood.
On your
right?
part.
Really? Why?
Yes, absolutely. Because this is a movie that was made in 1937 and is being remade in 2024, and you sit here moaning about the differences between those two movies, like 1937 with the glory days. What? Well, what are you talking about? Why are you...
Oh god, I don't even know what argument he's about to make. I don't know. Oh god. But he's not wrong. I mean, let's be real. Like, I don't know about this lady necessarily, but obviously the whatever outrage they have about this stuff is probably going to be performative.
offended by this movie? Why do you think people are
Because they
not...
replaced the dwarves with CGI abominations. They're pretending like Rachel Ziegler is the first of them all when she looks like Wolf Farquaad in the film. Somehow Gal Gadot, who's easily one of the top 10 most attractive women on the planet, is some evil, ugly stepmother, which she is not. I don't know how she bursts out laughing.
None of it works. None of it-
But what are you talking? Oh my god! Oh, so stupid. Oh god, sorry. My glasses. I lost my glasses, like Velma from Scooby-Doo. That's so stupid. What are you talking about? In the original movie, the queen was a baddie. She was never ugly. It literally was just that she wasn't the fairest of them all. Oh my god. I feel like I'm going to hate everybody in this video.
It's actually the truth.
Yeah.
Let's bring in our two YouTube experts, because Critical Drinker, your YouTube video on the trailer has now been viewed
Are YouTube experts.
nearly 2.5 million times. And you said the new
Wow.
look is nightmare fuel. Can you explain that for us, please?
Yeah, so what they've obviously tried to do is retain the artistic aesthetic of the
As DA, Kamala Harris shielded illegal immigrant criminals from deportation. Instead of
cartoon from the 1930s, but transpose it into a live-action movie, and it just looks horrific. It's so out of place. And when you see them dancing next to Rachel Zegler, who's an actual human actor, it just looks awful. They don't match up. They're deep into the uncanny valley. It is the worst possible choice they could make. It would be so much. It would be so much easier if they just used actual dwarf actors. I don't know why they haven't done that.
Why is no one offended about the new Lord of the Rings show on Amazon, where they have actors, non-dwarf actors playing dwarfs? Why are we not talking about that? Why is no one offended about that? Why are we just picking on Disney?
Well, I am now you mentioned it.
Yeah,
You should be.
there's room for outrage.
But it isn't, is it? You're just
I mean, that's probably fair, if that's true. Although, to be fair, I mean, there's only like people are still like ranting and raving about Lord of the Rings. Like, my guess is that they probably just didn't know. It's just like I feel like the Lord of the Rings, they actually like say what you will about Lord of the Rings, like the dwarves do feel like dwarves.
I'm excited about the whole show
Snow White,
personally,
because they're trying to do something
Hey
different.
man, you want to talk to me about Rings of Power? I will talk your ear off for hours. But like, we're here to discuss Snow White, so what do you want me to say?
Yeah, no, exactly. I want to bring in Nerdrotic because what this is really about is the fact that the people who are most angry about this are not people like me who were saying, why the hell are they doing this? It's such crap. It was actual dwarf actors who rely on movies
Maybe, I don't know. I'm not in the dwarf community.
like this, which literally are about Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. They rely on that for really significant income. If you're a dwarf actor and you land a part in one of these movies, you make a lot of money, and yet suddenly it's been taken away from you. That's what incenses me on their behalf.
I mean, but isn't this just like, isn't this just woke virtue signaling? Like they're gonna like, oh really? You're gonna like chastise like woke people that think that the original Snow White movie is like outdated or whatever. But then now you're going to sit here and be like, you can't make the artistic decision to try and retain the visual style of the original 1937 movie. You have to cast people with actual dwarfism. It's like, this is just the same woke virtue signaling. Again, I think that it's bad because it looks bad. But like, if that's like a genuine artistic decision that you wanted to make, I don't think that's like an inherently bad thing to do. If it turns out well. It's like, yeah, I guess, does it suck if people with dwarfism don't get jobs? Like, yeah, that's unfortunate, but I feel like the better answer to that would be like just having people with dwarfism up for more roles that isn't just, dwarfism related.
Yeah, this is where political correctness paints itself into a corner every single time. You find yourself with very strange bedfellows in this. And it's not just the actors, it's Disney fans. Disney fans are offended by Rachel Zegler's comments, disrespecting the movie that made Disney. And this is why there's one movie dislikes on Australia. It's a culmination of creating.
Yeah, this is retarded. I mean, just because it's a classic movie doesn't mean you can't criticize it. But again, I guess to his point though, like, I just wish people were honest about this. Like, should Rachel Zegler have said what she said? Probably not. But it's not because you can't criticize, classic Disney movies. It's because people are retarded and they're going to take it the wrong way.
Creative bankruptcy. If this movie just existed on its own, it probably wouldn't be that much of a controversy. But if you add a single...
Yeah.
Peter Dinklage interview that cost dwarf actors their jobs, and Zegler out there popping off.
Again, we don't know if that's actually true or not.
The flames, along with everything Disney's done over the last 6 years, you have Snow White.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly the point. James, here's my point. If you had a gay-themed movie, right, and it had potentially parts of 6 great gay characters, right? Say there was a book and it had 6 great gay characters in it, and there were lots of gay actors who would love to play those roles, right? And suddenly it was decided that that could not happen, that actually no gay actors would be allowed to play any of those roles. You would be on here leading the charge of outrage.
I don't think anybody would care. Don't we have straight people playing gay roles all the time? Isn't that a thing that always happens? That has always happened? I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that it's like, oh, gay people need to play gay roles. Is that even a thing that happens? I don't know.
Rage, the gay actors were being deprived of work when it was literally in their wheelhouse, and that's the argument. Which
I feel like a better argument from Piers would be bringing up race, because there are people that are like, oh, we need to give the role to people of this specific ethnicity. Like, I'm thinking of like the whole Doctor Doom thing. I feel like if he should be bringing up race or ethnicity, I feel like that would better support his argument. He should throw at him like would you want a white guy playing Black Panther? Checkmate, liberal.
You're quite computing. No, and I agree with you. I would be somewhat outraged, but I think there's something deeper going
Okay, well, never mind.
on here in that we're talking about stereotypes. I'm normally offended if a gay person misses out on a gay role, if a straight person is playing a camp, overtly gay stereotype.
Okay. He has a little more of a. He has a little more of a. He has a little bit of a deeper opinion here. So he's saying that if it was like a gay minstrel show, then he would be offended by the content of the role, but doesn't necessarily care if a straight person earnestly plays a gay person.
Because I think what they're trying to do here is make it more inclusive. But also remember, they're trying to why are we pretending that Hollywood is a fair place for actors?
It's not about that. They didn't even. Hold on.
The world isn't a fair place.
They were cartoons in the original film.
But they have a human actress. So they have a human actress dancing next to six.
But how far do we go with this faux outrage? Are we going to say that actual, like the movie Pets, all pets need to be actual animals? Are we going to say that Yoda needs to be played by?
People like you that would be outraged that if an actor is not gay, you shouldn't play gay.
Okay, well, oh god. I mean, he's right. Like he's like, again, like, just like. It's fine to have the creative decision to have cartoon dwarves if you want them to feel more like the original cartoon. That's like an okay theoretical creative decision. But and it's like, and you don't hold that standard in any other part of like media. Like he's kind of right where he's like, you're not like demanding that they're like real squirrels or like animatronic squirrels or whatever. Although it's also kind of a silly thing because it's like obviously like nobody cares about the rights of squirrels, but still, to his point, like obviously these decisions are made every day, and like, and again, like these people are also like of the opinion that it's like, oh well, it should go to the actor who is the best actor and not just because of, you know, what race they are or whatever. Like they've all said these things before, I would assume. But now they're saying it's like, oh well, it has to go to an actor with dwarfism because we need more dwarf representation in these roles. So it's just all stupid. Like this is all just so stupid. I just wish these conversations weren't this retarded. I don't know.
When actors are literally paid to act. So how about we just let actors act? And if you're going to cast human beings as human roles, then you shouldn't replace them with CGI abominations and say, oh, by the way, this is
There's so many CGI movies, and there's so many people that play dwarves that they've used CGI to do that, and no one's outraged. They're just outraged because Disney are trying to make the world a better place, and you want to live in 1977.
Nobody at Disney's making the world a better place, man.
Yes, okay, I mean that's just stupid. Like I don't know about Disney making the world a better place. Can we get me on the show? Get Piers, get me on the show, okay? I can represent the woke side and not be cringe.
I don't know why you keep using the word outrage. No one's outraged about this movie. People are laughing at it because it's a joke. It's a combination of everything bad about modern movie making. You've got a movie called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs that doesn't have dwarves in it. You've got the fairest of them all, who's put up against Gal Gadot, and somehow Gal Gadot is jealous of Rachel Zegler. And you've got a story.
Oh my god. Did these people even watch the original Snow White movie? How do they not understand that the queen was always bad? She was always a bad bitch. Like I'm just like, am I the only one that feels this way? Snow White. Like, definition of mid as hell. Now, what is it? Is it the evil queen? What is she technically called? The evil queen, Snow White. I have searched for this before in the past. Oh my god. I mean, come on. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? You kidding me? You kidding me? I'll take it. You know what I mean? I'll take it. I'll listen. I listen. It's just like such a weird, but isn't it just like so stupid? Because okay, yes, the Lord Farquaad hair is weird, but I mean, is this hair any better? Like, let's be real. Let's just be real. And then there's just like this bizarre insistence that like Rachel Zegler isn't beautiful. It's just weird.
About the search for true love that's no longer about true love. What even is this movie? It's a hollow, vacuous joke.
And one more. If I'll let Nerdrotic
Also, is it just me, or is it like when they bring up like these same talking points, they just feel rehearsed? Like when when they bring up like the talking point of Rachel Zegler not being as attractive as Gal Gadot, it feels like they've all like rehearsed the same talking points. They're just like regurgitating them.
Because there's a leaked scene that was shown at the recent D23 reveals that the modern empowered Snow White won't even allow domestic labor being carried out by herself. Instead, she orders the dwarves to tidy up themselves, even when they are in their house. I mean, Nerdrotic, isn't this taking the whole...
True! Oh my god, that's so stupid! Oh my god.
Tickling stuff to a ridiculous degree?
Absolutely. If you want to remake the movie, just remake the movie in live action. Note for note. It would probably be much better. But it's so obvious.
That's so... that's so, like... Okay, like, let's take away all the political stuff. That statement is so creatively bankrupt. I just don't understand the mentality of just like, we want the same thing over and over and over and over again. Oh my god, that's just so lame.
Now because of the blight of intersectionality that's spread throughout our entire society, that we can't have a woman holding a broom. Not that Rachel Zegler would know what to do with a broom other than fly on it, but that's what it is. It's ridiculous.
He called her a witch.
We all know, I haven't seen it yet, but I would lay even money. The moment Prince Charming moves in for the kiss while she's asleep, he gets arrested. Arrested and taken off to Harvey Weinstein's prison.
Yeah, that would make more sense. It's just like, I don't know. We'll see. It's just also stupid. Oh, sorry. So like, they're bringing up the fact that like apparently in the remake, instead of cleaning the house, that she's gonna like teach the dwarves how to clean, and it's like that just makes more sense because like they're trying to make it this weird thing where like, oh, it's political because women don't clean or something, and that they're trying to push that agenda or something. It's like, or maybe if you actually look at the original Snow White movie, like a part of the movie is her like teaching the dwarves how to be more civilized. Because like that's the thing as well. It's like in the original Snow White movie, she's like She like orders them to like wash their hands and stuff before they eat. So like even in the original Snow White movie, she's just like barging into their home unannounced, breaking and entering, and like ordering them around, telling them what to do. Like she does do that. So like this like thing that they're trying to like they're trying to make it act like, oh, this new Snow White movie, they're making her like a bitch or something. Like she is that in the original movie as well. But like a part of the movie is her like teaching the dwarves how to be more civilized. A part of that, it would make sense if she also just like teaches them how to clean their house. Like that just makes sense. That's just improving the movie. That's just improving the story. So it's just like next level insane to be like, oh, this is a part of the woke agenda to make women not clean or something. It's just pure insanity to me.
The story is problematic. Why is everyone ignoring that? Why should a woman walk into a seven blokes' house, right? Seven dwarfs' house, and clean it for them? It's their house. I don't care how long they've been working. Do the cleaning yourself.
Why isn't down the mine all day? Why isn't she down the mine?
They shouldn't be.
Hold on. What about gratitude and being a decent person? They're letting us stay there for free.
And by the way, how dare you stigmatize cleaning?
It's also like, it's just so stupid. It's just so stupid. It's just so stupid. Like, it's like the original story. The original movie is like kind of silly at some points, but it's also fine. Like we don't have to sit here and be like, oh, it's problematic. We need to cancel the original movie. Like, but then the other side, the fact that they can't even like acknowledge that it's like kind of weird in some parts, and that it's like reasonable to make changes in a remake. It's just all so stupid. It really is just stupidity, and I don't know.
As a job.
I'm not saying that.
Really?
It's weird that
a lot of cleaners watching the show thinking, wow, really? You're saying that it's beneath a woman to clean?
No, I'm saying that everyone should clean, especially the person that owns the house.
Are you saying it's demeaning for a woman to clean the house?
Like he's just talking past each other. Like they're not even communicating at this point. Like Piers Morgan is like, I have an epic own on the liberal. You're saying that it's demeaning for a woman to clean? Are you saying that that's beneath her? And he's just like, he just never said anything. He just never said anything to that effect.
Not what I
I know
said.
you know this, but if I ever live in a house for free, you are cleaning.
And just to make matters even worse, critical critic, we then had Rachel Zegler, who'd already been dobbing off left, right, and centre, causing endless problems. She then shared the trailer on social media and added Free Palestine, despite the fact that her co-star, Gal Gadot, is Israeli. So you can imagine what that's done. That's just poured kerosene all over the place.
Who cares? What? That's so stupid. Well, oh, I'm sorry. Is everything that she does supposed to appease Gal Gadot or whatever? Does Gal Gadot even care about that?
Yeah, the promotional tour for this movie is going to be wild, man. Yeah. When you get them two together. I don't know why she felt the need to do that. It's if there's one thing you want to do, particularly when you're someone like Rachel Zegler who's already in hot water, just stay away from politics for a little while. Just try and promote your crap movie and try and salvage something from this mess. But I guess you just.
The odd thing is actually, Nerdrotic, that Disney have just had a monster hit this summer, haven't they?
Yeah. Two. They've had actually a pretty good year.
Yeah.
If you think about it, Planet of the Apes, most with Fox properties, but Planet of the Apes did okay. Alien Romulus is doing pretty good. Inside Out 2 was the biggest movie of the year.
And you know what? None of them
Deadpool
did.
Wolverine is still crushing it.
Right, and none of them went down this stupid road. Right. In other words, when Disney just does what we want Disney to do, which is make great movies. I think Disney's a great company, historically fantastic company, and it's done some great stuff this summer. Just do what you're good at. You don't need to do this stuff. If you just brought out a movie with Snow White and dwarf actors, everyone would have gone great. That's the movie we want to
It
see.
wouldn't have been a problem.
No.
It wouldn't have been a problem. But Disney helps fan the flames because they're so risk averse and they're so afraid of looking bad to one part of the audience. They don't give a crap about the majority of the audience who are just normal people who want to go and be entertained and escape.
Exactly.
They're so
I
worried
can
about their own
guarantee.
people.
Yeah,
I guarantee you that most normal people are not like autistically talking about this shit. Let's be real. Let's be real. Most normal people, I don't think, are really like, Snow White has too much melanin. Like, I don't think most normal people are gonna be like, why didn't you cast people with dwarfism? We need more dwarf representation. I don't think most normal people are going to be like, you're trying to spread your feminist messaging by having the dwarves clean the house. Like, I don't think most normal people are going to be thinking about this stuff. Let's be real.
It'll be a bomb, I can guarantee it. I want to shift to something else, which is we're going to play a setup quote for this. The Venice Film Festival taking place this week. One of the big movies premiere there is called Queer, starring Daniel Craig. Very annoyed on your behalf, James, you didn't get the nod for that. Don't see why Daniel Craig, a straight guy, got the role when you're out there.
He is hotter than
Let's talk about a stereotypical job made in someone's name. Queer plays a lonely middle-aged gay character obsessed with a much younger gay man in 1940 Mexico. The reviews have been brilliant. Apparently, Craig is fantastic, even though he's a straight guy, playing a gay guy. There we go.
Some men can be great. To show you're not.
But the contentious point is this: at the press conference.
Oh no, wait. Does he care about this? I'm not quite understanding what the guy is saying.
The answer to the question about the straight guy, playing a gay guy. There we go.
Some straight men can be great. To shame you're not.
But the contentious.
Yeah, why is like Piers Morgan like weirdly trying to like, he's like trying to, like, this guy isn't being like the straw man that he wants, so he's just like, he's like trying to manifest positions onto him that he doesn't hold.
Just point is this: at the press conference, the press wants to know the answer to the question whether Bond could ever be gay. Let's watch.
Do you think there could be a gay James Bond?
Guys, let's be adult in the room for a second. There is no way around the fact that nobody would ever know James Bond desires. Period. Having said that,
Sorry, we don't know James Bond desires. He's the single straightest guy.
I mean, first of all, like, it's just like, could there be a James
In the
Bond?
history of mankind,
Like, probably
there's never been any.
at some point. But it's also like, why would like Daniel Craig wouldn't know? He's not, he's not Barbara Broccoli. I think that's the lady that owns the rights to James Bond. It's like, why would you ask him that question? It is cringe, you know. And like at the end of the day, like when it comes to like a decision like that, or you know, like the Jenna Ortega situation where she was saying, I don't want a female James Bond. For me, it's all about like, is there a talented artist making the movie with a good story and a good script, and are they passionate about it? If they have some idea for like a gay James Bond, or if that's just like what, I don't know, for whatever reason, like inspires them or something, or they just want to do it and they have a good story behind it, then sure. But if it's done in a politically bankrupt environment where, it's a decision made by a studio executive because they want to pander, then that would be bad. But my guess is that these guys are going to be like, James Bond, he could never be gay. He's only straight. He's only ever been straight. So that means that, even though like every James Bond is like a reboot where you technically have a creative reset, then he can never be gay. Like I'm assuming that's gonna be their their position.
Any suggestion by Ian Fleming, the author, or by the Broccoli family or anybody else that
The Broccoli family.
was anything or is anything other than a 100% red-blooded straight guy.
Is anyone really a 100% red-blooded
Yes,
straight man?
you're
You know
talking
that.
about- I am.
Sure.
Yes,
How do we know you don't go to
Because I look at you and feel zero urges.
But I'm only one gay. You know, there's a lot of different gay people out there. One of them might take your fancy. Maybe you're on Google having a little flutter in some bisexual pornography,
You know,
and that would be absolutely
the
fine.
point is-
We don't know what Daniel Craig
we do know James
or
Bond.
Daniel Craig
This is why.
desire.
It's categorically impossible.
You can have a wife and still fancy other people. It's very normal to have.
It's categorically impossible.
This is a weird way to take the. This is like a weird direction to take the argument.
Like, he sleeps every night next to that woman and somehow.
Let me bring in Nerdrotic. It's just, surely the obvious answer is no. Obviously, no. Bond can't be gay, right?
No, Bond can't be gay, and unfortunately nowadays Bond can't be Bond. Any kind of masculinity is considered toxic masculinity. It's arguable with Daniel Craig. But, I would say this is just.
Like it was like Bond can't be masculine.
Masculinity is considered toxic masculinity, and I mean it's arguable with Daniel Craig, but
Even though Daniel Craig was very masculine in his movies. What the fuck is he talking about?
I would say this is just the access media again trying to get headlines of this. Bond can't be gay, and I would just say go ahead and make it. If you
Any
feel that strongly
masculinity is
about
seen
it,
as toxic masculinity. Can you just explain that?
Oh, yeah.
That's interesting to say. I don't.
Yeah, no, far away, Nerdrotic, because I can definitely help you there. Because in the last movie, he was basically a massive drip.
I would use a stronger word, but massive drip we can use.
He was a drip. To be fair, I didn't watch I didn't watch the last two James Bond movies. I don't know what a drip is though.
He was walking around being subservient and then decided to do the noble sacrifice, although he was perfectly healthy and could have run 100 yards to the right, walked into a missile to die for toxic masculinity. And that's why the Bond films have gone down.
What?
And how many women did he actually seduce? Literally seduce?
I plan to commit many more.
He's not allowed critical drinking. He's not allowed to seduce women.
No,
because Me Too at times
Bond
can't seduce
I think
women.
it's dangerous to suggest that you're only a man if you're seducing women. There's a lot more going
I
on.
don't think that's the suggestion.
Who's suggesting
Bond
that?
is a
Who's
very
suggesting
particular
that?
kind of man. He is a leading man, and he is not allowed to get them. He's not allowed to seduce women anymore.
Also, these women.
There's a very different skill in seducing men.
Is that true? I don't even know. I haven't watched the last two James Bond movies. But is it not possible that he's just not seducing women in those movies just because he's like an old man who's like grown past that or something? Is it necessarily like a woke thing? Was it a mandate from Barbara Broccoli that he can't seduce women? Is that I don't know.
These women in Bond films, they are drag
very
names.
simple.
Let's be honest. Pussy Galore is a drag name. Like Bond is
Pussy Galore is
always
not a
that is
drag
queen
name.
name if ever
No,
one.
drag artists have taken
What is
those
he
names
talking
and stole
about?
Ridiculous.
Pussy Galore was
Xenia,
Pussy Galore was
most definitely not played by a drag
Honey
queen, put it that
Rider.
way.
This James Bond has always been gay. I don't know why you can't see it.
You see, this is the trouble, isn't it?
This conversation is very weird. Like, I gave the correct base take. Everybody here is being retarded.
It's categorically impossible.
Yeah,
It's actually opposite Halle Berry.
But more importantly, Esther, would you ever watch a Bond movie if he was turned out something?
No, because that's not. Anyone who's read books knows that James Bond is. I'm sorry, he's the ultimate man. He's
Bro, who cares about the books? Nobody's ever read the books. Like, 1% of the population that that watches James Bond has read the fucking books. Nobody cares about the books.
he's charismatic. He's a ladies' man. He's very intelligent. He's very strong. He's
It's so
a
dangerous to say the
quintessential man.
ultimate.
I mean, like, but you can do that with, like, gayness. Like, you can be a man's man.
Ladies' man.
You know what's interesting?
He's a heterosexual man.
It's
You're allowed to be a ladies' man. It's allowed.
Let's put it this way, right? Let's put it this way, James.
Because by the way, you know what's interesting to me?
What does it matter that
Hang on. I'm going to bring in critical drink here.
He's trying to say
You know what's really interesting is Daniel Craig in Queer the movie plays this lonely middle-aged gay guy who apparently runs around screwing everything that moves, right? So he's a man's man. He's a guy's guy, right?
Yeah, so why can't he do that as Bond or whatever?
But the moment you call James Bond, who is the great serial seducer, a ladies' man, James Barr, enraged.
I'm not
But if a gay
enraged.
guy
Who's James Barr? I don't know.
in a movie about a
not
gay guy
enraged about
runs around having lots of sex with lots of gay guys, that's fine.
I'm not enraged. I'm enraged by you suggesting that James Bond is only masculine because he's having sex with loads of women.
That's part of it.
That's maybe that's one small part
He
of
kills
it.
people,
What's going
he kills the
on?
bad guys, he has sex with lots of women, he drinks.
Awful.
Huh?
Yeah, shaking
And his
and
character is not
That's
fair.
a bit of a
character
rainbow
design.
flag.
Let me bring in critical
Target
drinker.
audience,
Critical
okay?
drinker. I think we have muted Bond to the extent where we
Oh, sorry, this guy's James Barr. I'm getting lost in the plot. Maybe it's because maybe it's because I'm just it's not 2 times speed, but this conversation is just especially stupid in my opinion.
surprise me if he came out in the next movie.
Pretty much, yeah. And the result is he's not a character that people aspire to anymore. He's not an interesting character. He's just a generic action hero who's not even particularly good at it. Daniel Craig never seemed particularly interested in playing Bond. And he always seems reluctant to do it. He always seemed like he resented the aspects of Bond's personality that made him who he was. And so I'm not surprised that he's happy to go along with this. I mean, ultimately, it was the director of that movie rather than Daniel Craig himself who was answering the question about Bond being queer. That he was happy to just shut up about it, I suppose.
Let me give you the checklist for Bond, because they're obviously recruiting for the next Bond. I am available, right? And the checklist should be very straightforward, right? He's going to be a red-blooded heterosexual bloke who likes having sex with a lot of women, doesn't like being held in a committed relationship. He's open about that. He smokes nice cigars, probably Monte Cristos. He likes to drink bourbon, or he likes to drink, his vodka martinis, whatever it is. He likes to drive fast cars, Aston Martins. He likes to do daredevil things on motorbikes and helicopters and other things like that.
Hangs out with people with drag queen names.
Right? And he likes
I feel like if you just like, I don't. Like, it's just like so obvious. Like you could have most of that, except for the just replace heterosexuality with like homosexuality, and boom, it's the same shit. I don't know.
kill the bad guys to save the good people from extinction.
So in the interview, Barbara Broccoli's going to sit down.
That sort of thing doesn't play. That sort of thing is not allowed in
What
the
Daniel Craig was talking about last movie is to someone who basically starts crying every 5 minutes, right? He's not allowed to seduce women, right? And has to
It's
sit
so
there,
dangerous to sit here. Yes, it is bad for everyone's health. It's so dangerous to sit here with millions of people watching this, Piers, and say that to be a man, you have to shag women, smoke cigars. That's what you're suggesting.
No, I said to be James Bond, you have to. That is the character that Ian Fleming created.
See, that attitude, it's dangerous to watch.
Yeah, this is just like so stupid. Like, who cares what Ian Fleming created? Like, there's nothing like there's nothing wrong with fucking 15 reboots down the line being like, let's do something weird here now. Let's do like something different. Like, why not? Like, how many fucking James Bonds have there been?
Want to shag women and smoke cigars? What are you talking about? That's
He's not going to be shagging many women. That's right. I'll say that.
Also, any spy worth their salt would shag whoever they needed to get information, no? Isn't that how being a spy
James Bond
works?
has to
So yeah, he can sleep with whoever he wants.
True. In order to get the mission done.
Like, doesn't need to be a ladies' man.
But the point is, he's not allowed to. There's people like you.
Based.
Of course he does. Honestly, I want James Bond to have sex with
By the way, did you ever see a Bond girl complain? Did you ever see a Bond girl complain about the way you treated
All
her?
I'm saying is maybe James Bond wants to take a gold finger.
I can say this as a woman.
Okay,
Because
move on.
it's revealed that James Bond is slept with a man. Absolutely
You'll be
not.
at a festival too.
There's no redeeming
Let's get
feature.
back to the straight and narrow. George Clooney. So let me start with you here, Nerdrotic. George Clooney at the same Venice Film Festival. Somebody decided he would speak for the first time. He was asked, about the op-ed piece he wrote for the New York Times. It was about 2 weeks after the infamous debate that Joe Biden did with Donald Trump, where obviously the world saw what I've been writing about for 2 years, which is unfortunately Joe Biden is now having a form of senility and incapable of being president. And George Clooney, who'd been a long-time friend of Joe Biden, who'd received awards from Joe Biden, who'd hosted a fundraiser in Los Angeles, literally about 10 days.
Do I care about this?
Biden on stage as well.
George Clooney on Biden? I don't think I care. Or what else are we talking about? Oasis reunion? I don't know what that is. I think I'm gonna end it there. I don't think I care about Joe Biden or whatever Oasis is. As always, it's a funny video, but the conversation is retarded. It's just there's no like intellectual honesty. There's no like trying to understand the other side's perspective. It's just like, it's really weird, like in real time watching Piers Morgan trying to create a straw man. He's like trying to like be like, you believe this, and he's like, no, I don't really believe that. He's like, but you believe that. It's like, what are you doing? And then it feels like the guys the three people in the middle are just like regurgitating talking points that they memorized, and it's just like, I don't. It's just so stupid. Get me on the show, Piers. I would be the best soy boy woke defender. Okay, get me on here. Although to be fair to all of them, I'm sure that being on live television is probably not easy as well. I'm just sitting in my room, shit talking. So there's that. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.